Hello everybody, welcome back to Enderal. We join Alexander once again, who I have actually given key bindings to his weapons and stuff now, so we can take stuff out and put it away without all the awkwardness that we had in the last episode. And last time we fought a really scary mud elemental and made it to this beautiful valley, which I just noticed there is a town off in the distance here. So I guess that's going to be our ultimate goal. Maybe find ourselves a job, because we are coming here to find a better life. So I say we make it through this tower, which I'm sure is going to be an uneventful experience, knowing my recent track record, and then make our way through this valley. There might even be some game we can hunt there. Might be worth something to the villagers, or that could be a city. Kind of looks like it might be a city. It's pretty big. And either way. Okay. Scrap metal of an ancient nation. That's fine. Goblet of an ancient... Okay, so just some ancient artifacts up here. Like, it's strange to me that I washed up on shore in such an isolated part of the world. A spell tome. I guess these are worth taking. I don't really have any money, so anything I can take will be worth it to me. I'm assuming this is an empty tab. Ooh. I assumed wrong. I can hear something already. I don't know what that is, but I do know this is a trap, so... cave troll. Come on, cave troll. You know where I am. Come fight me. Oh, it's smart, huh? It knows about the trap. Some troll fat. Excellent. Oh, why did I don't want human flesh. Imagine if somebody came across me, all right? They found me sleeping or something, and they were like, oh, what's this guy about? Oh, hey, he's carrying around human flesh. And that's not something we're interested in. Ambrosia and this very weird-looking magical symbol. Oh! Choose an attribute you want to raise. Health. Interesting. Oh, okay, let's check out my current abilities. I have 100 health now, which is a good start. Everything else, 5 learning points, 3 crafting points. So I can just... I'll have to figure out how to improve those later. For now, let's go... Whoa! For now, I was going to say let's go over this way, see if there's anything worth taking here. Looks like a lesser soul gem. Some more spell tomes. Coins. And a dress. I don't need the dress, but you never know. I could sell it. I'll come into town with the story that I'm a peddler. That's about the only lie I think they would believe. I don't know if there's peddlers in this part of the world, but perhaps they'll believe me. I'm just a foreign peddler. I've sailed across the sea to Enderal to peddle my junk. I could talk about my ship crashing. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work. You know, the more I think about my junk peddler story, the less I think the people are going to actually believe it. But then again, it's actually probably more believable than what really happened to me, which was smuggling on board a ship, being thrown overboard, tied to the back of a dead man, and having a vision about a cave that I've gone through. So there's that. And it looks like there's some sort of hound or wolf over there. Maybe it's friendly. Ooh, that looks like a dead body right there. I don't want to take a chance. I feel bad because this could just be somebody's dog, but it really looks like a wolf, so we're going to kill it. And yes, I did apparently punch it to death, as I was not able to draw my weapon quickly enough. Some meat, okay. That'll be good. And looks like the corpse of a man here, who I unfortunately am going to steal even the clothing off of his back. I need it. He had gloves, which again will be very useful to me. And I'll continue wearing my robe. Oh, I look shifty. I look kind of like a peddler, though, don't I? Anyway. We're almost down there, so... Ooh, I'll have to sort of just kind of shimmy my way down and just... Oh, okay, good. You made it. So, things are looking up. I've always had a positive attitude in my life. Firefights require tactics. Block to execute bashing. Okay, I weirdly remembered that I could bash people with weapons. That's okay. I just... Okay, we got multiple of those wolves again. Apparently they can see me. Are they worth killing, though? Yeah, I don't want them to come up behind me. Oh no. Okay, there's a lot of them here. Oh, just cut. Perfect. I have the high ground. Haha! Feel a little bit like a butcher here. That's a little bit disgusting, but nevertheless, it's more desirable than having these things come up and kill me when I'm not looking. Ugh. Alright, let's harvest the meat. And prepare to continue, I guess? That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. Okay, what is this? An axe. An axe with a shovel. Okay, I appear to be pouring dirt onto the axe. Ah! Well, I found some buried treasure, hilariously enough. A book of light magic, bone meal, some more pennies, and a human skull. Oh, maybe I should carry around a human skull. Ah, yes, would you like to check my peddled wares? Of course, I'd use an accent with people who don't know who I am. Would you like to check out my peddled wares? I'm selling a human skull along with my human flesh. Ah, river crab. I was hoping there'd be crab meat in there. Would have been good to eat. An abandoned campsite with some much nicer armor. A saw and a pot. Some more empty wine bottles. Might be useful to carry one or two of those around. You never know when you need water. And some ground bread. Some bread that's been lying on the ground half eaten. I will take that as well. Probably terrible for me, probably covered in mold and all sorts of dangerous things like that, but who knows? Oh, some iron ore. I mean, I am carrying around 2 mining picks, so I might as well. It'll lead credence to my my role as a peddler if I actually have something valuable to offer. Let's see this armor here. Ooh. I mean, it's probably safer to travel around in that. I'll probably keep it for myself, rent myself out as a mercenary to make some money. But for now, I'm gonna wear these robes because I feel like people won't take me as a vagabond or a threat or anything like that if I'm wearing robes. I mean, I am wearing a sword, but whatever. Well, every good, respectable peddler has a sword. How else could they keep themselves protected from waylayers and bandits? All right. So we got some more water wheels up ahead. And we're getting quite close to what I would hope is the exit to the valley. I hear something. It's a strange noise. Is it this shrine? Oh, the noise appears to be right here. Vinroot. Okay. The noisiest plant in existence. What is this? A butterfly? Oh, a moth. I attempted to grab the moth, but I'm not quick enough. Birds. Morning air potion. Alright. Anything to keep my vigor up. Oh, did I just rob this guy? I may have just robbed this guy.
Now would you look at that? I knew I'd seen someone scrambling in the mountains. What brings you here, my sir?
That's none of your business.
Ha, I know that accent. You're Neremese, aren't you? Though obviously not the most sociable of fellows, it would seem. You...
I what? What?
There we go. Everything's locked up. At least for the night we should. Wait a second. Who's that?
Just an adventurer on his way. No reason to worry.
Yeah, no reason to worry.
No reason to worry. For heck's sake, Finn. How do you know that this guy isn't with the bandits? You said you'd call me if anyone showed up. And now you're standing here, having a chat with him as if this were the bathing house of Ark.
Lo and behold, we are still alive. Now, is there anything else, Carbos?
I've got my eye on you.
Okay.
Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it. Unbelievable.
I would never dream of touching any
May
of your
I
stamina potions
present
or chests.
Carbos, as he lives and breathes. In any case, if you don't need any more help, I'd suggest you move on. Follow the way east behind the dam house. It'll lead you to a village called Riverville. Ah, here, take this. Truth be told, you don't look so healthy. Your eyes... well, whatever.
Okay. Okay, so this is how the dialogue system in this works. This will move things along. Said there were apothecaries by my path. What about my eyes?
There's something peculiar about you. I don't know how else to say it. I would examine you myself, but we don't have the right equipment with us. So if I were you, I'd ask a priest in Riverville to have a look at you. Who knows? Maybe you caught something in that temple.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, I ate all sorts of nasty stuff, so that makes sense. Can you tell me more about this region?
Well, what can I tell you? This is the Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. A pretty peaceful area, except for all the animals and bandits that have recently started going crazy. And, well, that's pretty much it. I think you should ask the people in Riverville if you want to know more. They certainly have some stories to tell.
Okay, any places near here that might be of interest to an adventurer like me?
To an adventurer? If you ask me, what you need before you adventure anywhere is some good old-fashioned shut-eye. But yes, there are some places. The Three River Watch, for example, right there below the stone arch. It was once an old trading post, but now it's full of shady characters. Ah, and there's also a big Pyrian ruin south of it.
Okay, that's interesting. You mentioned there was a apothecaris by my path. What do you mean by my path?
By the Black Guardian. You really are an outlander, aren't you? My path is... well, it's just me path. My role designated to me by Malthus. A kind of calling, if you will.
Your role designated by Malthus? You mean the god assigns your professions to you?
Not exactly. Malthus designates our place in society, generally the same one our fathers and forefathers occupied. I walk the path of the erudites, and there's also the manufacturers, the sublimes, and, of course, the pathless. Within these roles, we are free to choose a profession, but certain vocations that are available to an erudite are not permitted to a manufacturer, which is one path below. However, below does not mean that it is in any way inferior. Everyone on Enderal does what they do best, and who would know better than the gods what exactly that is?
That's interesting. So what's this path of the pathless?
Men or women who have never received the path consecration, or those who have broken their path. Brigands, glimmer dust smugglers, murderers, well, you know.
Okay, people I don't want to, people I don't want to cross. Just an interesting thought.
Well, I didn't come up with it.
Okay, so, yeah, that's it for now. Thanks.
Don't mention it. I wish you a quick recovery and safe roads. Walk blessed. Carbos, do we need the still tomorrow? Or can I clean all the tools?
Blazes, Finn, I'm playing. Don't bother me.
I guess that means no.
What? Ooh. What on earth was that? Something crazy just happened. Hello, help, Finn?
By the righteous path. What happened to you? You look as if you've met the Black Guardian himself.
I was just standing around. I have a fever or something.
Fever? Well, there could be many causes. Wait a moment. I think I still have some grunt root. That should be enough to ease your pain, at least for now. Take a seat at the fire. The warmth might help you.
I am very glad I ran into this guy
So now
when
we're
I did.
brewing potions for complete strangers.
Well, if the strangers are about to die of fever, then yes. There was that oath we swore once, remember? To help the afflicted, to...
Whatever.
Coblos is kind of an asshole.
Gruntroots, gruntroots. Ah, here we go.
Oh, it is nice to warm up next to a fire, I'll say. I have not been warm up there, although I would kind of like to get some.
So, let's see. Sheer cap, some water.
I should probably remember this.
Done. I can't make any promises, but...
Finn, the still.
Explosion. Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh, no!
What is happening? What is... Whoa, whoa.
Oh, sod it.
Do I really have to watch every step you take? That was a fucking close call.
Hey, I'm sorry, all right. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
Yeah, and you're paying for it. Here I thought this bloody day couldn't get any worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here, drink this. It'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, you already look a lot better. Still,
Oh.
you should let a priest take a look at that fever as soon as possible. The grunt root potion will wane in a few days.
Thanks, but what in the blazes just happened there? That was some weird stuff, like the explosion and...
What? You mean the still? Bad quality. And too much heat, I'd wager. But, whatever will be, will be.
But the voices and the explosion and, you know, all that kind of stuff?
Explosion? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Finn Dalaris died in 8234. Cause of death, exploding still.
Ha ha.
I think he did die there.
Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that?
I don't know. I'm still sitting, warming up by the fire.
I could have sworn I saw something moving over there. Oh, shit!
What?
What the? Carbos!
They've hit me, Finn. Those bastards. They've hit me.
Should we be finding cover or something?
Carbos, do something, damn it! Do...
Now would you look at that? Our mysterious survivor has awoken.
I spend a lot of time waking up from being knocked out. Where am I and who are you?
Jaspar Matumiel Delveric. Jaspar for short. And you, my friend, are in my very own campsite. And before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into a thicket. Luckily enough, most of your injuries are only superficial, and I've already taken care of them. Your fever, though, is an entirely different story.
How do you know all of this? Where were you during the attack?
Suffice it to say, I was on the perimeter. And no, I didn't help for two reasons. One, I was outnumbered like crazy, and two, I'm in a happy relationship with my entrails. I wish I had a more heroic answer for you, but I don't. Sorry.
So how do you know about my fever? Were you eavesdropping?
Yep, quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from first-degree Arcanist's fever. I'm quite surprised that the old apothecarius didn't see that, to be honest. You're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the bard songs, right? And you're feeling unusually strong and dizzy at the same time? While drinking herbal potions leaves kind of a bitter feeling in your head?
That sounds about right. Then this Arcanist fever is responsible. You talking about the magic? I've not really one for magic.
Yep. Your magical talent has broken free inside you. I don't have any myself, but I've worked together with enough Arcanists to know the signs. Simply put, what's happening is that your body can't cope with the magic. This isn't much of a problem at first, but if you don't do anything about it within the next couple of months, you'll find yourself running through the Heartland naked, throwing fireballs at everything that moves. You'll lose your mind, to speak plain and all.
But the fever can be treated, right?
Yes, of course. Though someone who's magically gifted will always react differently to certain situations than someone who isn't. As I said, some herbs will always worsen your fever, as will magically contaminated areas.
So this fever gets worse whenever I, drink potions?
Among other things, yes. Just as being magically gifted can make a person powerful, it can also make them sensitive and prone to certain conditions. Just don't overdo it sleeping in ruins or in the wilderness. Instead, set up a camp somewhere. Plus, as you've already said yourself, don't overdo it with potions.
How can I treat this? With grunt root extract?
What? No, that won't help you in the long run. What you need is ambrosia, a special mixture of herbs that can remedy the fever without any side effects. Every good alchemist has that in stock, but it'll cost you.
And does this explain the weird visions I'm seeing?
Visions?
Oh, well, that's what I'd call them. No, I'm not telling this guy. Don't worry about it. So what can I do with the fever? Who could treat it?
Are you sure? The Endralian spider plague's known to cause visions in the infected, and if that's what you got in that old temple, you should start digging your grave. Because your body parts will start falling off in a few hours if you don't do something about it.
Oh no.
No, nowhere. Because that plague doesn't exist.
Oh, thank.
I have no idea what kind of visions you're talking about, since the only visions I know of are those that come along with a good pipe of peaceweed. But your reaction shows that you were trying to keep something from me, and that's not a good idea if you want my help. You know what? Someone has to take care of your fever. And as it happens, I know someone who could. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. How did you get here, and what did you do in that temple, and what exactly did you see in those visions? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you, and that makes me curious. So, healing for information. What do you say?
Okay, healing for information. I'll tell you what I know.
Then shoot. I'm eager to listen. I understand. My condolences for your loss. So that means you somehow survived this execution. And before you got washed ashore, you had this, this dream? In which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light.
Yeah, but it wasn't a dream. It was more like a memory. It's almost like I'd been to that temple before, you know what I mean?
I hope so. So your magical outburst didn't happen slowly as it usually does, but all of a sudden after this near-death experience. And with it came these visions.
Correct.
Interesting. I guess you know how absurd all this must sound, but somehow I believe you. Heck knows why, but I do. So, that means I'll introduce you to my employer. If anyone can help you, it's him. There is, however, one thing with which I could use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can start our journey to Ark.
Who is this employer of yours?
Well, aren't you curious? I like that. I work for the Holy Order.
Oh, okay. Thought you were gonna work for some, really shifty, criminal kind of people. I can work for somebody called the Holy Order. The faster I get rid of the fever, the better.
Splendid. There are some things that need some explanation before we can get started, however. Where should I start? I take it you've noticed that in the past 2.5 years, this world has fallen into political chaos, right?
Oh,
Civil
no.
wars,
I haven't
usurpers
noticed.
everywhere, you name it. And even
Sorry.
Enderal isn't directly affected by these wars going on everywhere. There are strange things happening here, too. Take the Woods, for example. There have been an unusual number of reports of wanderers being attacked by them in the open, which has never happened before. And the same goes for the Lost Ones, the living dead. Until 2 years ago, they were a rather rare magical phenomenon. But now every other corpse not properly cremated starts walking again as if it were the most natural thing to do. The strangest thing, however, is what they call the Red Madness.
Red Madness?
Yeah. It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their minds. Just a couple of weeks ago, for instance, there was a smith in Ark who slaughtered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like, "Fear the light," while he was doing it. Or a young noblewoman who killed herself by setting her family estate on fire for no apparent reason. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen of them. That and the fact that the possessed's eyes glow red shortly before and during their deed has made people call it the Red Madness. And just 3 days ago it happened again. Only this time it was a magister from within the Holy Order itself.
A magister?
Right, you're not from here. A magister is a kind of sage from the Holy Order, who teaches the young novices who are aspiring to become keepers or arcanists. Yarrow was his name, a man who had more than 60 winners on his back.
What did he do?
He killed 15 novices and himself. According to the only eyewitness to survive, he entered the teaching room as usual to give a lecture on alchemy. But instead, he gave a strange speech in which he explained that humanity is corrupt, void, as he put it. And his eyes started glowing, he locked the door, and, well, he tore himself apart with a magical explosion. You can imagine the kind of uproar that caused.
So, what's your role in all of this? I take it you're not a monk just by the way you're dressed.
Well, I'm not exactly one for vows and austerity, so no, I'm no keeper. I guess you could say my specialty is recovering things that have been lost. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do exactly that. They want to know how a highly intelligent man like Yarrow could fall victim to the Red Madness. And also if there's a discernible pattern to how this malady, or whatever it is, chooses its victims.
In other words, you're searching for motives. How could I help with that at all? I know nothing about this Yarrow.
True, but that's irrelevant. Yarrow grew up in a small village named Riverville, which isn't far from here. And according to some of the other wardens, he visited this area quite often after his partner's death. So it's quite possible we could find some clues around here. Shards of his past, if you like. I've already searched most of the area, but a second pair of eyes wouldn't hurt. What do you think?
Sure, I'll help you. A job's a job.
Well, for starters, I need you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred. He was a childhood friend of Yarrow's, and he might be able to tell us something worthwhile. Secondly, a boy from the village told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the water near a cliff to the east. Go there and see if you can find whatever it was he wanted to get rid of. I myself will have a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Here, this is a map of the region. The blue dot over here is Yarrow's old house. And at the risk of sounding heartless, you should head back to the apothecary's camp. Maybe the bandits left behind some equipment. If there's nothing else, I'd say off we go. Let's shed some light on this Yarrow and his motivations. Meet me at his old house when you're ready. I'll be waiting there.
If a quest objective is marked by one of the following stars, they indicate the difficulty of the quest. Okay. Easy. Perfect. Well, thank you very much for the help. I'm going to steal some potions from you. Harvest some holly, and I think this is probably a good time to end it here. We'll stand down there for a minute.
Never walk back on the road from the aged man's abode. Oh, places. Sorry. I know. I can't sing.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for joining Alexander once again on his journey through Nehrim. I hear something barking at me, it's scaring me, I'm going to back up a little bit. Join me next time, well, we hopefully don't pass out again, as we've done every other time. Stop talking, I'm trying to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching, I've been Xuul, I hope that you have an excellent day.